Hello everybody, welcome back to the LGL Season 5 Power Rankings, Week 6, 7. This is Week 7. Ignore that. Also,
Yeah.
Jamal's here.
Hello, Obama.
It's just Jamal this week because Garrett has cooler friends to party with.
Yeah, Garrett has a life. Cringe.
It's so tragic. And we've got a good week to talk about. I thought this was a pretty good week, and I know we're a little later than I would prefer, but we're gonna give you well, Jamal will probably make sure it's a very long power ranking.
Hopefully.
So let's jump right into our number 16, and I think we're all kind of used to seeing Archaic here. Hi again, Archaic. It's nice to see you're consistent. I felt mean. Felt really mean. Yeah. So Archaic was up against Weebo this week, and it didn't go so well. There was some cool things happening.
The Nicket was, godlike. It destroyed the Woobat.
It was very neat. Alongside Fake Tears Cottony and then Endure Unburden Nicket was able to take out a Woobat, which was satisfying, cool to watch. Mantike got a kill with Acrobatics, and Krogunk got 2-hit KO'd by a resisted priority move. Not a great look.
He may not...
Good.
He may not win, but he'll bring the heat. He'll make it entertaining. He's been close a few times, but he just can't win. But like you said, at least you're consistent. You don't want to be like other people in the LGL.
Could you check who their last matchup is against for me?
Like Week 8?
Yeah, Week 8. Because, and in the meantime, I'll say, also, the Litwick did some cool things. Survived a hit, set up Trick Room, and then killed something in one hit. That's neat.
Yes, they're playing Smoliv.
Okay.
That's winnable.
It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be like, it could be a Billette rematch. So
he actually did pretty decent.
Didn't he pull Billette to a 2-0?
3-0.
Ah. Well, Archaic... You got something?
I don't know why, but he has like 3 points left over, and I told him to get a tier 1, so he went out and got a Bidoof instead of actually getting good Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Also, to note, I still haven't updated the teams. We'll update them after the massacre of post Week 8. Once the losers have been cannibalized. Cool.
Yeah, the bad players.
I think Archaic is physically incapable of making playoffs at this point. But
you'd be correct.
Yeah, so it's a good effort. I hope to see you at some of our events, and unfortunately, I don't think you're gonna make the cut for All-Stars League. Moving on. Number 15.
There's still time.
There's still time. There's still time. You can always win a league.
DonutCat.
No. It's DonutCat again. DonutCat is technically not one of the people that has lost every match. They did win by forfeit, and they won their crossover episode.
Yeah, so Archaic is 0-7 or 0-8.
Yeah, we're 0-7. It would be 0-7 because this is week 7.
Yeah, 0-8 or 0-7. Sorry.
Okay, DonutCat was up against Jaw this week.
Yeah.
So there is an important note. DonutCat has been playing on custom games and did bring a level 100 Moraine. It was not used until the very end when it was immediately forfeited by DonutCat and the kill was given to Jaw's active Pokemon. Normally we don't give, like, I only give kills to things that actually kill something, but in this case, it's the only way I could see fair. I don't want to cheat Jaw out of a Cyndaquil kill. Also, who cares? I can make up the rules however I want.
He basically pulled a Cameron and brought 5 Pokemon, but he didn't have plot armor, so lost.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, you've never watched the anime?
I watched some Indigo League.
Gen 5, the dude with the Riolu.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
He brought 5 Pokemon and beat Ash, because Ash is bad.
Sounds about right. Wooper was here. Wooper did stuff. He was almost threatening. And you know what? Almost counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and we are counting. Also, weird thing, Inkay was min speed. Jamal brought this up and in the chat and brought it up beforehand, which ended up taking a bunch of Smoochum chip and probably costing him possibly the game because it was at +1 speed after webs went up because Cutie Fly. I mean, it wasn't an awful game. That was clunky, and obviously the Moraine not being usable was not great. Especially when you need, like, every win. So DonutCat is not technically screwed yet. DonutCat could make playoffs. Jaw versus Gauzic is week 8. Yeah. And whoever loses that, if they lose 4-0 or more, and DonutCat gets a big win, he could technically overtake them. Or tie them for for a runoff match. Because there's a whole schism about this. We're doing runoff matches for making the league, head-to-head for breaking ties in the bracket. Go ahead.
Yeah, he plays Baconator, so, it could be doable, but he also has to beat him badly, like, really bad.
He does. He needs to crush Baconator. And I believe.
He might show up high and bring Venonat and just lose. Who knows?
Don't slander Venonat. Venonat's insane.
Yeah, low-key, it should be T5. We should change it to T5.
Honestly, probably. So, good luck with that one, Donut. I hope you give it your all. Good luck. Number 14, we have Bonfire 8. 8? 8. It's fun to say. Bon was up against you? No, not you.
Geiser.
Geiser. Duh, I knew that. Bon was up against Geiser this week. Is that right? Doesn't. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were a liar for a second. This match was tragic.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it, Jamal?
Yeah. He threw hard in the end game. He clicked Spore on Volibee when he could just click Synthesis. He also, after the Yamper died, if he just went to Fungus and clicked Synthesis, he won. Because it's a 2v1 between Fungus and Porygon versus Tentacool. And you live Ice Beam, so you just Spore and then Thunderbolt with Porygon. So he just threw. He also brought Yamper. Why?
That doesn't tend to help. I think it was supposed to be a play into Volibee. Didn't really work.
Yeah, if he brought, like, anything else, he probably won.
Yeah, I mean, like, if that was a Roggenrola in that place, it could have, like, Rock Blasted Volibee to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah. Don't bring Yamper.
Generally a bad... There's, like, electric types are at a premium. You have to be a really bad electric type to end up in tier 6. And Yamper's a really bad electric type. Otherwise...
It's 60.
Yeah, with a super effective stab wild charge. That's not good. Otherwise, like, this match was pretty back and forth. Wingle went down to fucking Sizzlipede, which was funny. Scarf Sizzlipede was able to take down a Wingle. Most of it's a defense drops from Flame Lash. Dratini kind of got thrown away in front of something. Meowth, that's right. Just got eaten alive by the cat, the demon cat. Has Bonfire brought Flabebe at all this season?
I don't think he has. Or Bergmite, but Bergmite's trash.
Bergmite sucks. Yeah. Flabebe could have been a really good call into Vullaby. Stab Moonblast might have been pretty decent there.
He also has a Timber.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. I was like, Bond doesn't have a Timber. Yeah, Flabebe would have been a really solid call here. Obviously, it doesn't match up great into Tentacool. But just don't use it against Tentacool. It's a very simple calculus.
I think it gets Psyshock, but I don't know.
I don't think it does. You can...
It gets Psychic, but not Psyshock.
And Psychic, non-stab Psychic against Tentacool's meaty Spadef is not exactly what you want. Otherwise, not a horrible game. It was actually very close right at the end. I think it was very educational. And almost as educational as the number 13, my favorite number. I actually don't like them. I don't care about the number 13. That was just a bit.
It's just a really bad number.
Apparently it's a really bad number. I wouldn't say that. It's a fine number. Whatever. Kryptos was up against Smoliv. And obviously it didn't start out great. Fampy got eaten up by a Trapinch. This is a weird match. All around. Like, Talo used some neutral hidden power into Ducklet, and it did like 20%.
Smoliv doesn't have a... He doesn't have a ghost type, so just click Boom Burst.
Yeah, and also like Scrappy. So just click Boom Burst. And like Krabby was running Body Slam. Don't run. This is like a PSA. A lot of new players getting into the game, or just less experienced players in general, want to run normal type moves as like quote-unquote coverage. There is never a reason to run a normal type move on a normal type attacking move. And that's not entirely true, but in the modern day, it has to be a very weird confluence of a situation where you want to be running like return on a non-stab return, because it's just bad. It's just not good. You're never getting super effective off of it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Smoliv also didn't have a water resist. It was Venipede and Nuna, so Body Slam just makes 0 sense.
That was the other thing. It was into Venipede Body Slam. It's like, why? Just use Liquidation. The sun wasn't up. They have the exact same base power. I guess Body Slam is affected by Sheer Force, so that's probably why they put it on their Pokemon. Even accounting for Sheer Force, you should be running things like X Scissor before you run it. Like, you want to run Liquidation, Superpower, Rock Slide, Knock Off. X Scissor hits grass types, which is why I bring it up. Even X Scissors bottom of the barrel.
You can also run like Agility or SD if you want to sweep.
I think it was a choiced Krabby. I got the feeling that it was. But yeah, even if you're using a choice Pokemon, you should be using Superpower, X Scissor, Rock Slide, Knockoff before you're using Body Slam.
Yeah.
The Fampi lead kind of got eaten alive by a pinch lead. That happens. It's unfortunate. This was a funky game. This is a funky game with funky people, with a lot of Pokemon dying in very weird ways. I was mildly uncomfortable the whole time. And you know what? I kind of respect that.
I have one more thing. What was that Trico nickname? Human lizard? It's not even a human. It's just a lizard. Like, don't name it that. Oh, a gecko, whatever.
Well, a gecko's a type of lizard. I was just...
Yeah. Like, change that nickname. It made you play worse. You would have won if it wasn't.
Also, why did it have Bullet Seed instead of, like, Leaf Blade? I'm pretty sure it gets Leaf Blade at that level. It should be able to.
That's Grovile's move.
Does it not get Leaf Blade? Because, I mean, even then, it could run, like, Seed Bomb, I think.
Seed Bomb. Yeah, it gets Seed Bomb.
And Seed Bomb is, like, 80 base power, and so it hits harder than 3-hit Bullet Seed, which means it's doing more damage than Bullet Seed. Like...
On average.
Yeah, it has a higher average damage output. Although Bullet Seed does get the multi-hit boost in Little Cup, but it's just so risky. It's not like Rock Blast, where your alternatives are Rock Slide, which is weak and slightly inaccurate, or Stone Edge, which is very inaccurate, and not everything even gets it.
He also could run a special Energy Ball, because Rico's special attack is higher.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He hits 16 special attack and 15 attack, so it's not that much higher.
Yeah, and I get running physical for things like the acrobatics tricks, but yeah. Otherwise, we've spent enough time on Kryptos, so we're going to jump on along to number 12. It's Gandhi. Gandhi is one of 3 people currently tied for 10th, which is weird. But Gandhi lost to Ishtar, which was the lowest ranked person going into this. So Gandhi ends up here, moving down 3. This was a fucking weird match, too. So weird.
Ishtar just went into Sandile and folded his whole entire team. Like,
yeah.
It was just... He just clicked crunch the whole time, and Gandhi just lost.
It wasn't exactly that, but, like, it was that. Drillbur started off getting a kill against Aron. Ishtar, please stop running offensive Aron. Just do the funny berry juice. It's better. Not always. I'm messing, but still. And then Sandile was able to kill a weakened Drillbur. And then Gandhi sends in Bunnelby, which... Panpour, which dies. And Bunnelby, which dies. Then Litten gets the attack reduction, barely survives the crunch, burns it, switches out, takes a bunch of coughing damage, brings Litten back in, and then ends up losing like 4 Pokemon when it's all said and done. And then at that point, I think Purloin was able to clean up, which, like, what the fuck? Why is Purloin cleaning up? But that's fine. You gotta prep for Sandile. There's a reason Sandile is as highly tiered as it is. Despite being kind of weak, it can do that. It's kind of like discount Scraggy, which, you know, not all things that are on a discount are bad. I love Hydrox. Okay, Jamal.
I like Giddy. That's a discount Pokemon, and it won me my game versus Bacon. So discounts are good.
Yeah, also, we love reductions.
Yeah, Gandhi just got destroyed. There's not really much to say. It was pretty sad.
It's a good lesson. Prep for weird sweepers. Woo!
Standout runs like one set, so it shouldn't be
Yeah,
that hard to prep for.
that's a good point. It's not like it's really up in the air what it's going to be running. I guess you do like a bulky intimidate stealth rocker, but no. No, it's number 11. I don't even know what that transition was.
Am I muted for this?
Oh yeah, this is your match, isn't it? Shut the fuck up. Biatch. We'll get back to Jamal in the next one. So from what I recall of this game, Gauzic played this clunkily, to say the least. Ended up giving a lot away to a Poniard and another Pokemon that is on the tip of my tongue, but Metatite was able to take some souls. Also, Natu wasn't here against a sticky web team with a fighting type, a powerful fighting type, and its sticky web setter is of course weak to flying. Natu should have been here. Magnemite just killed an Anorith, which was funny. I enjoyed that. I laughed a little. Dwebble, he didn't play the Sucker Punch game. You gotta wait. So, this is my perspective on the Sucker Punch game. He went Shell Smash on the Sucker Punch, or whatever. He went Stealth Rocks on the first Sucker Punch, and then he went for the kill too fast. You gotta do 2 more Shell Smashes, then 1 ineffective Shell Smash, then go for the kill. That's how you play the Sucker Punch game. I mean, it's still the Sucker Punch game. It's, always up in the air. But Skidoo was here. It did very little. And that was kind of the game. There's a lot of things here that did very little. Stunky did very little. Magnemite got a kill. Still did very little. And it's unfortunate. Sorry, Gauzic. You got your teeth kicked in by my co-host. That's it,
right.
Shh! Shut up! Jamal, get back in your box.
It's a free country.
No, you live in Canada. That's not a free country. Canada's a fascist place. I know that. I'm American. We know about Canada. Get back in your poutine, nerd. Jamal, of course, is our first... Wait, no, he's not our first non-American guest. That was Brady.
Because Brady stole the only reason why I'm special. And I'm sad.
I mean, at least you're the first Canadian to be on the show. No one can take that from you.
Yeah.
Unless I lie and start saying I was born in Vancouver. Number 10. It's Jaw. Jaw had a good week. And by that I mean they beat DonutCat. Yeah. Celebrate good times. There was a lot of things I was not feeling during this match from Jaw's side of things, though. Like, Cutie Fly used webs against the Inkay team, which worked out, but also, like, don't do that. You could have just, like, killed the Vulpix that was in front of you before it set up Veil.
Yeah, that's what you probably should have done.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that, Holmes. Otherwise, Staryu just kind of sat and rapid spinned on a Wooper at one point, which was weird. Honedge, died at one point.
Yeah,
Scarf Cynical was here. Scarf Cynical was cool. I liked that. It had Eruption, it had Hidden Power Grass. That was neat. Smoochum had Fake Out, and it was Focus Sash, which was weird because it's a special attacker. Jamal? Say.
So, the Torchic was really weird. It's Focus Sash, Flare Blitz, so it just hits one Pokemon once and just dies. So,
yup.
Why?
Jaw played around it well.
Run Eviolite or like Berry Juice or something. Don't run Focus Sash. Or at least run... Well, there's not any other good fire moves you can run.
Doesn't it get... It gets fire punch, right? Does it? I don't know.
I'm on the... It doesn't have hands.
It has a head. I mean, Ghastly doesn't have hands.
Well, Ghastly's a ghost.
What does that have to do with anything?
He can hide his hands. Have you seen... Torchic has, like, wings, like... We should make him move... Fire Wing.
Fire Wing sounds sick. It really does.
Yeah. Nintendo, make it.
Yeah, Nintendo, Fire Wing. Or we'll do it ourselves. It'll be a 60 base power physical fire move that also clears the battlefield of hazards.
Oh, that'd be broken if we made it like 80 base power.
It's actually 90 base power, clears the battlefield of hazards, and has a 50% chance to burn.
Broken.
And then we only give it to Torchic. Once you evolve to Combuskin, it loses it.
Yeah, because it loses its wings, because it becomes upside down penis.
That's a way of describing it. An upside down phallus, sure. You know what else is an upside down phallus? Number 9.
SmolivGang. I was gonna make that joke too.
Because SmolivGang's female, and upside down male is female. Ha! I made it make sense.
Yeah.
Smoliv on the rise, right at the middle of the pack, after beating Kryptos. Right?
Yeah.
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 So there was some funky things going on here. Not a lot. Only one main funky thing. What the fuck was that mana? Like, it won the end game there at the 1-0, but like, excuse me? Specs mana? It barely took that knockoff.
That mon just dies to any move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it apparently doesn't die to knockoff, so that was enough to win the game. But what the fuck?
And she wasn't even putting, like, Trick Room or anything. She just ran hard with Specs mana.
Yeah. I appreciate that Hippopotas without sand isn't here anymore. It's not a very good Pokemon. Venipede was here. That's fun. Ducklet has been doing work all season, which I appreciate because I think Ducklet is really good. And also is the unofficial channel mascot. So that's nice. Vulpix and Bellsprout doing Vulpix and Bellsprout things. Trapinch doing Trapinch things. Trapinch is the tier 1 kill leader, right?
Yeah.
Which is like... I don't know why, but our tier 1s... It's never... That's not true. It's not never. This season, tier 1s can't lead kills. In a lot of seasons, there's like tier 1s don't perform. Mudbray was the exception, but... you know. And also, going far in playoffs makes a huge difference in who's the kill leader, but... Yeah. It's honestly... Preseason kill leader is the only one that really matters. Gives playoffs huge bias there. Otherwise, this was a fine match. Jamal, you got anything you want to
add? Well, I just recently found out her team is the Boston Blastoises, which I love. It fits the logo perfectly.
Yep. I don't think that's an error either. I was looking around. It seems to be accurate, and also she is from the Massachusetts, so I guess you could have been like the Boston Beals and then called it Bealty Girls. Or like,
yeah.
I'm sure there's some ass city in Massachusetts.
Salem.
Right there. The Salem Seals. Bam, bada bing, bada boom. Or you could just personally move to Sacramento. and become the Sacramento Seals. That's great.
That's lit team name. You should do that.
Lit team name. Absolutely. Move to Sacramento right now. Speaking of moving to Sacramento, our number 8 player lives in Sacramento. I don't know that. That's probably a lie. I think Ishtar lives in, like... I think Ishtar said they lived in, like, El Salvador or something.
Really?
I don't know. It's something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Central America.
Yeah.
Guatemala,
They speak
maybe?
Spanish.
Yeah, and they gave us Spanish lesson with their Sandile nickname, and we got to look at it. Vivir S plus.
Yes.
God.
It was a pretty good game. Ishtar bouncing back, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
after they got destroyed by Billette.
Which is nothing to be ashamed of. Billette is, like, top tier LGL.
Yeah, he's probably second.
Well, currently not, but we'll talk about that later.
He's behind me, of course, but...
Well, no, but go off, King.
Thanks. I think they're guaranteed playoffs, right? I'm not tripping.
I'm pretty sure everyone above Jaw and Bonfire is guaranteed for playoffs.
No, they're in Platinum.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Platinum, I think Platinum's basically locked down. I don't remember the divisions, man. They all blend together in my brain.
Yeah, it's the only thing that can change is Kryptos and Gandhi.
Yeah, okay.
The rest is locked.
Ishtar had a super clean game. There's no way around that. Have we seen Larvesta yet? No.
Yeah.
We did.
They use it a lot for week 5.
Offensive Aeron, I don't love it, but it's doing stuff. Sandile was obviously amazing in this match, and you were able to clean up with a Purloin that is not displayed here because I'm incompetent! Celebrate incompetence. Celebrate.
It was a nice showing by Virginia Americana.
Yep, Purloin, Virginia Americana, absolutely. It was a good showing for Ishtar. Who's Ishtar up against this week?
Someone.
Wow, really?
Kryptos.
That Ishtar obviously has the edge there, and Ishtar could really finish off this season strong. That would put Ishtar as 3-1 in the games that they were actually at the helm, which is, pretty damn good. So, good showing.
Four and 1 if you count. No, 4-1 if you count week 5.
Yeah, and they're already 3-1 right now. That's pretty good. Good job, Ishtar. Big snaps. Number 7.
Also... Oh.
You tried to... Okay, wait, go ahead. I believe in you.
You know who also has big snappers? The Zangoose of Malice. That was horrible.
That was really bad. I'm glad I undercut that by going too fast.
Cut it.
But I'm also...
Cut it, please.
Oh, no, I don't edit.
Oh, no.
That's not how this works, Jamal. Editing's for the weak.
Yeah.
Geiser had a pretty weak showing this... Speaking of the weak, Geiser had a pretty weak showing this week.
No. Okay, I'll get my revenge.
Slam poetry right there. I mean, Geiser used good Pokemon generally, but also just kind of... You're up against Bonfire, and you let it come way too close to losing. And you gave a lot of ground, especially to the Magby. Ended up losing a lot to that. And it was just a very back and forth game. It was a very engaging game, which, you don't want to be engaging. You want to win. obviously Geiser's position is safe, and I don't think Geiser can rise up anymore.
Uh, Spoiler alert, the buys are already locked.
Well, they're locked because for week 8, you already did week 8 stuff, and that doesn't count yet. But yeah.
Spoiler.
Shh. At least you didn't say who it was. What are your thoughts on Geiser's side of this match, Jam Jam?
He played. I don't know. It wasn't that good. The sizzle feed was great. It did so much. It did 62% to Magby. That mod is trash.
Yeah, Sizzlepede's a strong boy. I used him season 1.
He also just basically sacked off Meowth when he could just go at the Pumpkaboo, but he was already gonna die because of Life Orb.
Yeah, he could have gotten off another fake out.
Yeah. He also just stayed in with Timber.
Not great.
He could have maybe stayed in on, like, Yamper, because that moment is trash.
Did he not stay in on Yamper? Didn't he just Vullaby it?
I mean, like, he could switch to Vullaby on the Porygon because it's locked into Psychic.
There we go.
He has a Vullaby and he can just knock off a Brave Bird, and, like, nothing's really touching it at that point.
Yeah.
But he just, let's go with Timothy.
I don't feel like we have any more to say. Jamal, do you want to give another shot at a transition statement?
You're supposed to say something.
Speaking of...
Speaking of,
Here, I'll think of a random word. Fugue.
Speaking of Fugue, we got the dude, Baconator.
What the fuck was that? The dude? The dude!
Well, what else was I supposed to say?
Fugue. Speaking of Fugue, Baconator has a Grimer Alola, which is a fugue of a bunch of colors into one pile of sludge. So it's number 6, Baconator. I just accidentally flipped a turtle. Damn. Okay. And you think you can be a doc editor or a mod if you can't even come up with good speaking ofs?
Nah, I'll come up for the next one.
You better. You better not. You don't need me prompting you. Just cut me off. Go and speak it up. Okay. Baconator had a really strong showing this week, beating Pradesh in an awesome game. Not an awesome game. Awesome game for Bacon, I'll say. And specifically an awesome game for Keith! Pineco. Keith
supremacy.
Keith is life.
Keith
we are
life.
The cult of Keith.
Keith is Baconator,
everything.
Baconator, if you bring Keith against me, I'll forfeit.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
Well, we're probably not going to meet in playoffs anyways.
You're not allowed to forfeit.
Oh, I'm not?
No, you're actually not.
Oh. Then I won't kill it.
You could throw.
I'll throw, yeah.
Keith was able to set up rocks and T-spikes, and it just was a massive advantage that Pradesh couldn't surmount. Baconator kept the pressure on with Farfetch G, and coming into mind as someone picking up some good kills, although it did get one shot by our core brawler, which was funny. Sinisty did some stuff this match. Amora had a good showing, taking out 2 Pokemon with Freeze Dry right at the end. It's just a strong showing by Baconator, showing why this 6th placement might not be as deserved. Dare I argue that Baconator's better than my esteemed co-host.
I beat him. Fun fact, I'm the only one who beat Baconator fairly. Like, he lost to Toby, but That was because of hacks. I beat Bacon fair and square. He got skittied. It's not my fault he got skittied.
You got skittied. And I think you, Prady, and Baconator are clearly the upper echelon of Emerald. And it's interesting that you beat Baconator, Prady beat you, but Bacon beat Prady. So there's sort of a cyclicality there, that you guys are all in this tug of war, locked. But unfortunately, Bacon also took a loss to Toby early on and placed him out of reach. And of course, you've had a very successful return season. How is, while we're talking about, actually, we'll talk about you later. What do you think about the Baconator match?
I thought it'd be way closer, but like it was a 3-0, but it felt like a 5 or a 4-0.
It really did.
Bacon really just destroyed him. He ran
Mm-hmm.
4 attacks, mischievous. I don't know why. He just keeped on him. He didn't really like.
He keeped on really, him.
Yeah, didn't have an answer. He also got crit by poison jab, I think. He got a little mad, but it was a leak, so I don't know what the chance is, but
it should be like 25 or 12.5 or something.
Yeah, he also could have just killed it flat out with play rough, but that might have been a better play. Overall,
the play he had, that might have been a better play, because the play he made was rough.
Speaking of rough, you know who didn't have a rough week? Jamal.
There you go. So before we get into your side of your match, I want to ask, how do you feel about this season? You've had a really strong showing that you haven't really had before, and it's great to have you here to just kind of talk about how it's felt being on the driver's seat for once.
It's felt amazing. Like last season, I was 3-4, but I threw 2 games. Like I threw against Gandhi and I threw against Wolf Haley. So I could have been 5-2. So I knew I could do it, but I think I was much more confident this season because I liked my draft way more. Shout out, Garrett helped a lot with this draft. Like, I think over half, or like under half, is Garrett.
You and Garrett had like a mutual glow up this season.
Yeah, like Garrett, I think he improved by like 5 wins or something, or 4 wins. We both jumped up. Overall, the season, I like my part, but the season was like there's too many forfeits, to be honest. But it felt good winning.
Well, we didn't end up having that many forfeits because we made the new people play the matches.
I meant too many drops, like 4 people got replaced or something.
Yeah, and we got a good. There's new people here, and it's some new blood, and they seem like a good crew. But it really sucks having a bunch of people drop like that.
Yeah.
Especially some of these people that I was kind of holding in decent esteem, like Yevhen seemed really cool. Toby seemed neat. Dumb Trash was struggling, but pulling something together. And these seemed like really cool people, and then they just go radio silent on us. It really sucks.
Yeah.
And then Hydreigon had to leave for stress-related reasons, and that's totally reasonable. If that's what you have to do, your health comes first. And obviously Hydreigon's still around.
Yeah, at least he told us. Yevhen and Toby just didn't talk.
Yeah, and Dumb Trash said one thing and didn't address and got kicked, so...
Yeah.
It's really made me, like, skeptical of new people, because... But also, like, I've gotten a lot of respect for the new people that have come in. Like, Gauzic returned, obviously, after having a very forfeit, or not showing up ridden season, and has done some stuff. Ishtar, Kryptos, they're all putting in a lot of work. Kryptos is incredibly communicative, and Ishtar's had a big glow up. And then we got Jaw back, and obviously, anytime we can get Jaw is a pleasure. Jaw, huge shout out. We love you here. So it's been really stressful, but I've been really glad to have these people and been able to find new people. I hope we don't have to deal with it anymore. I hope season 6 has less of this. Please, God.
Yeah.
But past that, let's talk about your match. Tell me a little bit about your match now.
Okay, so I really want to go 6-1. So I really tried pretty hard. And I had like a plan. I calced Flash Cannon on Anna. And it was like 6.3% chance to kill. It just killed flat out because it was modest. And it kind of felt like the previous game where I lost the Pokemon turn 1. So I was pretty nervous after that, but then I was like, he's at like a low percent, so I can just go out to Meditite, and then the game becomes 5-5, and then he has the really weird Garf Skidoo, so it became 5-4, and it like brought my, and then Ponyard just came in and beat like every one of his Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like Diglett too. I ran Magnet Rise Ponyard for Diglett, and I didn't even need it. It just died. So
yeah.
I also ran Choppleberry for Brick Break Apom. But
and it was just Tail Slap.
Yeah. And then Golett did nothing for the second time in a row.
But it could have done something.
It could have. When he went on Stunky, I was gonna go out to Golett to try to get like an Earthquake kill, but I was like, it's part dark, so I'll probably kill. If I went into Golett, then it could have been like a 5-0 because he clicked Explosion. But it doesn't really matter because I still win. But the differential's good for feeding.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, I ended up just losing a differential. Not a huge deal at the end of the day. And Ponyard and Meditite basically just, you were just at the driver's seat the entire game. I don't think switching to Golett there was necessarily, I think that was a better play to just kind of throw something out. And it died to Explosion, it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it was safer to make sure you didn't get some freak Stunky gets a couple kills and lose even more differential. Super clean game from you. There's not a lot else I'd like to add. And spoiler alert, since you're not going to be at the Week 8 Power Rankings, of course. If you don't want to hear about Week 8, go forward 30 seconds in the video. Yeah, do it right now. Okay, you gone? Cool. You obviously took a win in Week 8 and are now up to 6-1. Congratulations. And of course, I did say that would get you an invitation to All-Stars League. I do withhold the right to, like, if you just say a bunch of racism and then go 1-6, you know. But as long as you stay the course, you will be invited to All-Stars League. Congratulations. Thanks for hopping on here, of course. Is there anything you'd like to add before I move on to number 4?
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. So,
speaking of forgetting, I forgot that number 4 was Garrett. Ooh.
Ooh.
Doing a little dance because that was funny. Your partner in crime from the draft. You guys are hanging out together right in the upper echelons of your respective divisions. Garrett had a incredible showing this week, obviously. One of the the two big Titan matchups this week. We had Bacon versus Pradiush and Garrett versus Billette, while Weebo went and like kicked the shit out of ArchaicFalcon, and then you were up against Gauzic. Garrett came through, beat Billette. What was it? It was 1-0, right? Or 2-0?
Yeah, 1-0.
1-0 with just the scarf Voltorb at the end, right? It's something like that. It was some nonsense, and it worked. This was a super great match from Garrett. The only really questionable thing was handling Zigzagoon. You lost Frillish for very little, and you used Revenge Pharaoh Seed, and it was dealing like 30%. And you were burned, so that kind of makes sense. But also, But Tortuga cleaned that up, and Garrett did a great job of like answering threats, and that was what Garrett needed to do. That's what you do against hyper offense, and that's why Garrett was our first like real countable match to beat Billette, because he was just really good at answering all the threats that came up and shooting them down when things got scary. Of course, he wasn't the first person in the league to beat Billette. That would be or in this season. This season.
Oh.
That would be you.
Yeah, I'd beat him.
Yeah.
So this is the first non-week 5 win against Billette in the preseason. He went 7-0. That's the end of a 13-game preseason win streak.
Not counting week 5s, of course.
Yeah. But I think we should.
Of course you think we should. And it's amazing he went down to Garrett, of all people, someone who just got crushed in Billette's amazing season. And now Garrett's coming back with an absolute vengeance and taking that win in a pretty damn clean match. Voltorb did a ton of work. I think it piqued everyone's interest in this match in particular. People took notice that it was doing stuff. Great showing by Garrett. I have nothing to complain about here. Congrats. A million congrats. Jamal.
If he wins next week, he's guaranteed a bye, because Weebo Billette are playing.
Yep.
And he's up against Gandhi, which he could beat him, because he was Season 1 champion and Season 3 finalist, but he hasn't been playing good recently. So Garrett is definitely the favorite.
Yeah, no doubt. Even though Gandhi, no doubt an important veteran LGLer, even the best have rough seasons. And speaking of rough seasons, can't say that about our number 3, it's Billette. What the fuck happened here? What did I do? What'd I do?
Why is it?
One second, folks. You don't see... You see nothing. God damn it. Wait. Getting there. Swish. Everything is normal. Billette, as we were literally just talking about, lost to Garrett this week. Which I'm partially going to put that on Billette, because he brought Teddy Ursa and Duskull to a match against Garrett, one of the top 3 in the league.
Yeah, Billette. I think rough. If he just brought anything good, he might have had a chance. But Duskull did. The set made no sense. It just hard loses to Pharaoh Seed. Like, it can never win.
Yeah, Calm Mind, Taunt. I mean, it had to be a knockoff Pharaoh Seed, like if it was Gyro Ball. But not knockoff. Taunt, Calm Mind, Will-O-Wisp, and presumably Hex. It helped Zigzagoon set up, and like Teddy Ursa, the other one I'm going to point out, is just here. It was just a bruiser, and then it died. You can't... I think that kind of exposes one of the big weaknesses with Billette's team. It doesn't have a lot of depth. Like, Even if you're
Yeah.
just, even if you consider it just, oh, it's a hyper offense team, it's kind of just, there's like good Pokemon here, but there's no glue and there's no depth. So you're bringing Teddy Ursa and Duskull. It's like, okay, you have two other normal types. Why are you running Teddy Ursa?
Yeah, just run Rufflet. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Billette had a really quirky strat, but this is the time. I mean, you're fighting for a bye week here, and you got to secure your top spot, and that's not how you secure your top spot.
I also think Garrett can deal with hyper offense very well. He has Yanma who can speed boost. He has Dirty Tortuga and Ferroseed. So I think part of it's like he did have a bad matchup, but Duskull doesn't do anything really.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Billette's up against Weebo this coming week. That's going to be a huge match, like Clash of the Titans, big, woo, oh my god, that's going to be great. It's also a rematch of, obviously, the Season 4 finals, which were the most intense, insane finals ever.
I was on a train in that, and I got off the train, and it still hadn't finished.
I watched the whole thing live. It was literally 2 hours long. And it went to the 5th game. Honestly, it was nerve-wracking and intense and insane and brilliant in a lot of ways. Honestly, if you want a really good watch, just watching the LGL Season 4 finals and just really immersing yourself in it, it was a crazy experience. That was definitely it was a lot, but a huge high point, and I can't wait to see the rematch between Billette and Weebo. Who's gonna take the win? Who's gonna come out on top of? Because I'm pretty sure the winner of that
gets a bye.
Yeah, the winner of that gets a bye. They both get a bye if Garrett loses to Gandhi. Presumably. The winner of that becomes it. Odds are the winner of that is the one of the two that gets the bye, and probably the person that wins the division, which is super interesting. And okay, this is the most free transition. Go ahead, and I'm super excited to see Weebo.
Damn. Okay. Speaking of interesting, Weebo.
I literally said Weebo.
I didn't understand.
Just say speaking of Weebo.
Speaking of Weebo.
I'm profoundly disappointed.
One thing I want to say is when you said it was about the finals, it wasn't just Game 5. Billette was up 2-0, so it was like a reverse sweep, which made it even more intense.
It was crazy, man. I could watch that on loop, honestly. Although sitting through it in person was horrendous.
Miserable.
It was so bad. Weebo was up against Archaic and kind of kicked his teeth in with Garuki. Woobat got a kill. Salandit has been going insane, and so it picked up some kills. A lot of kills.
Yeah, 13. I have a message for Weebo or Billette. Don't let Salandit get a kill, please. I need Metatite to get the kill leader. Please. I sacrificed my differential for the kill leader, and if I don't get it, I might get the 4 seed because of this, when I could have gotten the 3 seed.
Not that seeding in the top really matters, but yeah. Kabuto got